If God is everywhere, why do we need temples? A man once asked this very question to Swami Vivekananda. Swamiji smiled and said, "Come back this evening. I'll explain." That evening, the man arrived late and Swamiji asked him the reason for the delay. The man replied, "The air in my car tires was low. I couldn't find a pump." Swamiji asked, "Why not just open the valve and let the air around you fill the tire? Isn't there air everywhere?" The man answered, "How can I do that? We need a pump to push the air in." Swamiji smiled. Exactly. God is everywhere like air. But just like a pump concentrates air into the tire, a temple concentrates divine energy. Temples aren't just buildings. They are scientifically designed cosmic power centers. How is that made possible? Let's explore. The four fundamental scientific principles used to focus cosmic energy in a temple are mantra, yantra, vigraha, and pran pratishtha. They employ concepts of sound energy, sacred geometry, precision carving, and energy transfer to transform temples into dynamic centers of spiritual force. Let's take a closer look. Mantra. Mantra is a sacred syllable or set of syllables so potent that when chanted repeatedly, generates subtle yet intense cosmic energy. Not just any word or sound can become a mantra. Mantras were heard, not invented, by ancient rishis in deep states of meditation. Next comes yantra, the geometric counterpart of mantra. Yantra acts as a blueprint of energy. Just as sound holds power, so does form. Mantra is the sound form, yantra is the geometric form, devata is the subtle effulgence energy form. A specific mantra and yantra are associated with every devta. Murti. The form of a devta is embodied in the murti, the sacred idol. But this isn't just art or symbolism. The murti is carefully carved, following precise guidelines laid out in the Agama Shastras, the ancient scriptures that detail the science of temple architecture. The murti, carved with such precision, is ready to be a conductor of divine energy. Pran pratishtha, the final step. Pran pratishtha is the ritual through which life force or pran is invoked and infused into the murti. Now, let's look at the recently constructed Ayodhya Ram Mandir to understand these concepts better. For over 9 years, a group of ardent devotees dedicated themselves fully to a single spiritual mission, to chant the sacred Ram Tarika mantra, day in and day out. And what they accomplished was nothing short of astounding. Over 6 crore repetitions of the mantra. Through sacred rituals, the 6 crore mantra energy was carefully transferred into the Rama Yantra. The yantra was then enshrined in the sanctum sanctorum of the temple. After that, the murti was installed directly above the yantra and through pran pratishtha, allowing the energy to flow through. The murti became a living conduit of divine energy. The mantra Shakti infused in the yantra radiates through the murti, blessing every devotee who enters the temple. And here's the beauty. You don't have to do anything elaborate to receive it. Just being present in the sacred space, just having darshan of the murti, will align your system with that divine energy. The power of any temple is directly linked to the mantra Shakti stored in its yantram. That's why certain temples draw millions of devotees. And to preserve and replenish that power, temples conduct Brahmotsavams, where mantras are chanted in large numbers to recharge the energy field. Our ancestors knew temples were not mere buildings of stone and mortar, but living embodiments of the divine and our spiritual and cultural fabric. And that's why they offered fierce resistance to foreign invaders and laid down their lives. They understood that if the temples fell, whole civilization's rhythm would collapse. The irony is, the invaders knew this too. That's why they deliberately targeted temples, destroying every one they could find. And yet, millennia later, we are still waking up to the true value of these magnificent temples. We have become so secular that we choose to interfere only in the affairs of Hindu temples. And this interference rarely serves the temple's spiritual welfare or the preservation of sanctity. The focus isn't on maintaining divine energy or upholding sacred tradition. It's almost always about controlling the funds. There's little to no concern for the Agama Shastras. Offering substandard or adulterated items to temple deities is nothing short of sacrilege. It's a blatant violation of dharma and an insult to the sanctity of the temple and the faith of the devotees. The next time we step into a temple, let us remember that every custom, every rule has deep significance. Let us preserve the sanctity of the premises. Let us enter with humility and awareness. So, does all-pervading God need temples? No, but we humans do. To connect with the cosmic force, to resonate with the divine within, to elevate our consciousness, and to remind us of who we are and what we stand for.